Welcome back, guys. I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. I've been doing a lot of interviews with other investors, but this time I wanted to talk about a little bit about creative financing. And I mentioned it in a past interview with Renee, actually. So, creative financing is basically anything that is not conventional financing. So, when you're talking about buying real estate with conventional financing, normally what you would do is go and get a lender, apply for a loan, and get qualified or pre qualified to buy a property. They will let you know that how much income you are bringing, how much debt do you have, and how much do you qualify for a purchase price. And depending on that, you'll go and with that letter, you go get a realtor and then you place an offer. But creative financing is a different type of um, strategy. So instead of going to a lender, for example, you can go to somebody's home owner, especially somebody that owns the home free and clear. Somebody owns the home cash and there's no mortgage, no loan attached to the loan. And you can go to a seller and say, hey, I will pay you the purchase price. I will not use banks. Are you interested in you being the bank for this house? And some people may think, like, why would they do that? Why would they not want to just cash out from their property and then move on and forget about it? There's a lot of reasons that a lot of people that have purchased real estate in the past, for example, are carrying a lot of equity in their home. So, for example, if somebody purchased in 1990 a house for 100K and that same house now is worth 500K, that means that they have 400K in equity on that house and they may own it free and clear. So that means when they sell the house for 500K, now they have to pay the government taxes. Most of those taxes would be somewhere in the bracket of 30 to 40%. So that person can cash out the house. If it's not a primary, then they have to pay taxes up to, if it's your primary, I think you get that capital tax free for 250K for individuals, 500 for married people. But if it's a rental, then you get taxed on all of that. Not only that, if you take any depreciation during those days, then there's a depreciation recapture as well, a little more complicated, but you will have to pay taxes on that as well. So that potentially could leave the person with half of their money gone. And then so when you pitch the person creative financing, now they get to defer that tax liability, because when you negotiate terms, for example, a conventional loan right now, it's April 21st, a conventional loan will run you any interest rates from like 6.9 to 7.9. You can negotiate that with the seller and potentially get no interest rate for that house if that's okay with them. So there's a lot of good benefits for creative financing, and the one I'm talking about is owner finance. Seller finance via owner financing. So what happens is the seller who owns the property free and clear deeds the title, so there's a transfer of title of ownership, and now the person who's the seller, it's the note holder, just like the bank would be in conventional financing. So now they become the note holder and you make payments to them. That note is backed up by the house that they sold you. So this is very, very interesting, because when I started investing, I was just like a little scared of seller financing, because it seems like, oh, there's like no rules. Anything can go. And then, yeah, it is. Anything can go. So like I said, one of the advantages is that you could get terms for the seller is that you can defer the capital expenditures and take payments over the course of the year. Or for the buyers, that you can make up the terms, and terms just mean like what interest rate you're getting, how many years is the mortgage note for. Could be 30 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. You can make up, for example, balloon payment for if your goal with the property is to do some type of exit, like refinance. Is the property a forced value kind of property? Do you plan to do improvements that are gonna increase the property value? Are you planning on flipping it? Like anything can really go through, but the terms that you really want to know is, for example, one, interest rate. So in seller financing and owner financing, purchase price is really not that important, and that's crazy because when you think about purchase price, you make your money on your buy. Yes, you make your money on your buy, but because the creative financing can be so different, can be no interest, can be 1% interest, can be 10% interest, can it be interest only for 1 year and then amortize. It can really be anything. So the purchase price is more of it's less contingent on your deal. Like when you're thinking about your deal, it's what you want, right? Do you want cash flow? Do you want appreciation? Do you want a return on your yield? What do you want? So from that, you can work backwards and then agree on a payment plan. So I don't know if I make much sense, but I just wanted to talk a little bit more about seller finance. If you have any questions, please drop them down on the comment section. I like to engage with everybody in the comments, and yeah, we'll both learn together. I'm learning as I go too. So like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me.